This afternoon we'll be finishing with scene 6 of the Glass Menagerie. We have one more scene to go, so it's a long scene, scene 7, so we'll be dividing that into 2 days. But today we will finish with scene 6. Scene 6 is the arrival of the gentleman caller. So we have the mother Amanda, Tom, our narrator, and Jim is our all-American boy gentleman caller. So here we go. We'll take it from when Jim arrives at the house. Tom: Laura, this is Jim. Jim, this is my sister. Jim stepping aside. I didn't know that Shakespeare had a sister. Laura retreating, stiff and trembling from the door. How do you do? Jim heartily extends his hand. Okay. Laura touches it hesitantly with hers. Your hand is cold, Laura. Yes, well, I've been playing the Victrola. You must have been playing classical music on it. You ought to play a little hot swing music to warm you up. Excuse me, I haven't finished playing the Victrola. Laura turns awkwardly and hurries into the front room. She pauses a second by the Victrola. Then she catches her breath and darts through the portieres like a frightened deer. Jim grinning. What was the matter? Tom: Oh, with Laura. Laura's terribly shy. Shy, huh? It's unusual to meet a shy girl nowadays. I don't believe you ever mentioned you had a sister. Well, now you know. I have one. Here's the Post-Dispatch. Do you want a piece of it? Uh-huh. What piece? Comics? Sports. Jim glances at it. Old Dizzy Dean is on his bad behavior. Tom uninterested. Yeah? Tom lights a cigarette and goes over to the fire escape door. Jim, where are you going? I'm going out on the terrace. Jim going after him. You know, Shakespeare, I'm going to sell you a bill of goods. What goods? A course I'm taking. Huh? In public speaking. You and me, we're not the warehouse type. Well, thanks. That's good news. But what does public speaking got to do with it? But what's public speaking got to do with it? It fits you for executive positions. I tell you, it's done a hell of a lot for me. Image on the screen, executive at his desk. Tom: In what respect? Jim: in every. Ask yourself, what's the difference between you and me and the men in the office down front? Brains? No. Ability? No. Then what? Just one little thing. What is that one little thing? Primarily, it amounts to social poise, being able to square up to people and hold your own on any social level. Amanda from the kitchenette. Tom. Tom: Yes, Mother. Is that you and Mr. O'Connor? Yes, Mother. Well, you just make yourselves comfortable in there. Yes, Mother. And Mr. O'Connor, if you would like to wash his hands. Oh, no, thank you. I took care of all that at the warehouse. Tom. Yes? Mr. Mendoza was speaking to me about you. Favorably? What do you think? Well, you're going to be out of a job if you don't wake up. I am waking up. You show no signs. The signs are interior. Image on the screen, the sailing vessel with the Jolly Roger again. I'm planning to change. Tom leans over the fire escape railing, speaking with quiet exhilaration. The incandescent marquees and signs of the first run just light his face from across the alley. Tom looks like a voyager. I'm right at the point of committing myself to a future that doesn't include the warehouse and Mr. Mendoza or even a night school course in public speaking. What are you gassing about? I am tired of the movies. Movies? Yes, movies. Look at them. A wave toward the marvels of Grand Avenue. All those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all, gobbling the whole thing up. You know what happens? People go to the movies instead of moving. Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventure for everybody in America. Well, everybody in America sits in a dark room and watches them have them. Yes, until there's a war. That's when adventure becomes available to the masses. Everyone's dish, not just Gable's. Then the people in the dark room come out of the dark room to have some adventures themselves. Goody, goody. It's our turn now to go to the South Sea Island, to make a safari, to be exotic, far off. I'm not that patient. I don't want to wait until then. I'm tired of the movies, and I am about to move. Jim incredulously. Move? Yes. When? Soon. Where? Where? The music seems to answer the question while Tom thinks it over. Searches in his pockets. Starting to boil inside. I know I seem dreamy, but inside, well, I'm boiling. Whenever I pick up a shoe, I shudder a little, thinking how short life is and what I'm doing, whatever that means. I know it doesn't mean shoes, except as something to wear on a traveler's feet. Tom finds what he has been searching for in his pocket and holds out a paper to Jim. Look. What? I'm a member. Jim reading, the Union of Merchant Seamen. I paid my dues this month instead of the light bill. You'll regret it when they turn off the lights. I won't be here. How about your mother? I'm like my father, the bastard son of a bastard. Did you notice how he's grinning in his picture in there? And he's been absent going on 16 years. You're just talking to you, Jim. How does your mother feel about it? Shh. Here comes Mother. Mother is not acquainted with any of my plans. Amanda coming through the patios. Where are you all? On the terrace, Mother. They start inside. Amanda advances to them. Tom is distinctly shocked at her appearance. Even Jim blinks a little. He is making his first contact with girlish Southern vivacity. In spite of the night school course in public speaking, it somewhat throws him off the beam by the unexpected outlay of social charm. Certain responses are attempted by Jim, but are swept aside by Amanda's gay laughter and chatter. Tom is embarrassed, but after the first shock, Tom reacts very warmly. He grins and chuckles and is altogether won over. Image on the screen, Amanda as a girl. Amanda, quietly smiling, shaking her girlish ringlets. Well. So this is Mr. O'Connor. Introduction's entirely unnecessary. I've heard so much about you from my boy. I finally said to him, Tom, goodness gracious, why don't you bring this paragon to supper? I'd like to meet this nice young man at the warehouse instead of just hearing him sing your praises so much. I don't know why my son is so standoffish. That is not Southern behavior. Now let's sit down. I think we could stand a little more air in here. Tom, leave the door open. I felt such a nice breeze a moment ago. Where has it gone to? Mm-hmm. Oh, so warm already, and not quite summer even. We're going to burn up when summer really gets started. However, we're having a very light supper. I think light things are better for this time of year, same as light clothes and light food or what warm weather calls for. Our blood gets so thick during the winter, it takes us a while for us to adjust ourselves. When the seasons change, it comes so quick this year. I wasn't prepared. All of a sudden, heaven, already summer. I ran to the trunk and pulled out this light dress, so terribly old, historical almost. But it feels so good and cool, Tom. Mother, yes, honey. How about supper? Honey, you go ask sister if supper is ready. You know that sister is in full charge of supper. Tell her you hungry boys are waiting for it. To them. Have you met Laura? She let you in? Oh, good. You met already. It's rare for a girl as sweet and pretty as Laura to be so domestic, but Laura is, thank heavens, not only pretty, but also very domestic. I am not at all. I never was a bit. I never could make a thing but angel food cake. Well, in the South, we had so many servants. Gone. All vestige of gracious living gone completely. And I wasn't prepared for what the future brought me. All of my gentlemen callers were sons of planters, and so, of course, I assumed that I would be married to one and raise my family on a large piece of land with plenty of servants. But a man proposes, and woman accepts the proposal. To vary this old saying a little bit, I married no planter. I married a man who worked for the telephone company, that gallantly smiling gentleman over there. She points to the picture. A telephone man who fell in love with long distance. Now he travels, and I don't even know where. What am I going on to about my tribulations? You tell me yours. I hope you don't have any. Tom returning. Yes, Mother. Is supper nearly ready? Looks to me like supper's on the table. Oh, well, let me look. Amanda rises prettily and looks through the portieres. Oh, lovely. But where is sister? Um, Laura is not feeling well, and she says that she thinks she better not come to the table. What? Nonsense, Laura. Oh, Laura, from the kitchenette faintly. Yes, mother. You really must come to the table. We won't be seated until you come to the table. Now come in, Mr. O'Connor. You sit over there, and Laura Wingfield, you're keeping us waiting, honey. We can't say grace until you come to the table. The kitchenette door is pushed weakly open, and Laura comes in. She is obviously quite faint, her lips trembling, her eyes wide and staring. She moves unsteadily toward the table. Screen legend, terror. Outside, a summer storm is coming on abruptly. The white curtains billow inward at the windows. There is a sorrowful murmur from the deep blue dusk. Laura suddenly stumbles. She catches at a chair with a faint moan. Laura, says Tom. Amanda, Laura. There is a clap of thunder. Screen legend, ah. Amanda, Laura. Laura, why you are ill, darling. Tom, help your sister into the living room, dear. Sit in the living room, Laura. Rest on the sofa. Well, to Jim as Tom helps his sister to the sofa in the living room. Standing over the hot stove made her ill. I told her it was too warm this evening, but Tom comes back to the table. Is Laura all right now? Tom, yes. Well, what is that? Rain? A nice cool rain has come up. She gives Jim a frightened look. I think we might have grace now. Now, Tom looks at her stupid. Tom, honey, you say grace. Tom, oh, for these and all thy mercies. They bow their heads. Amanda stealing a nervous glance at Jim. In the living room, Laura, stretched on the sofa, clenches her hand to her lips so as to hold back a shuddering sob. Tom finishes the grace. God's holy name be praised, and the scene dims out. Tomorrow, chapter 7.